And we are live. Welcome, everyone, to the February live stream. Welcome, Depot. You're back from
Happy February.
a good trip. So we're going to kick off things with just a couple of quick updates. So for the product update, as some of you might have heard, we've got Tridion Sites 10.1.3 installable as a fix pack that's going to be released in about 5 to 6 weeks. One of the biggest things is that is going to enable you to use the Tridion Sites MCP server, so the Model Context Protocol server. I know this thing is it's going to be huge. This is another AI module that you'll be able to plug into Tridion, and you'll be able to do some amazing authoring steps. So somebody comes to you, bunch of files, bunch of images, and they say, "Hey, get this into Tridion and get it structured." You're going to be able to do that with the Tridion MCP server. So the first release that we're doing is going to be alongside of the 10.1.3 release. So you have to go up to 10.1.3. We're sort of treating this as a release that our customers should just use, really, sort of in development, make sure, see what's happening. And then in December, when we come up with the 10.5 release, that's going to be sort of a fuller release. So it's like our first toe in the water here. So but I think we can get like a lot of interesting feedback from customers just based off of this release that's coming up in a matter of weeks. And then some other news, we also have some renaming stuff that's going on. And in fact, yesterday I was on a call with the customer, and I was talking about DXD, and some people are like, "What, DXA, DXD?" And I swear, sometimes in our company, it's like death by the 3-letter acronym. We're going to do instead, DXD is going to be renamed Delivery. So Tridion Delivery. And off of that, sorry, were you going to say something?
Easy.
I need
Tridion Delivery.
Imagine using an actual word. So I'm going to and on that note, we've got some other news just in terms of naming and products. So Deepa, why don't you take it away on that?
Yeah, well, pleased to announce Tridion 1, ex-Fonto 1, but Tridion 1 is now live and it's out there. And what is Tridion 1? Well, it's our specific solution for pharma. It modernizes regulatory documents by turning them into structured, reusable, data-driven content. That's what you want. And it's got AI support where it helps, traceability where it counts. You got templates, smart fields to automate, the regulatory document creation, and just basically stop putting together Word documents, do it in a way that is data centric. Choose the LLM of your choice, variation control, so you can see, what changes have been made. There's all sorts of track changes in there. You got version control, outputs and interoperability, output to docx, Word, Microsoft Word. So, if you're submitting in Word, do that. PDF, XML, FHIR, translation integration, everything's in there. And so you get to faster authoring and approvals, fewer copy paste variants, and cleaner audits, it's less regulatory fire drill energy. That's what Tridion 1 brings to the table.
Yeah. And it's also amazing, too, because it also brings together all these technologies. The renaming makes sense to me because really, instead of Fonto 1, it sort of seemed as if it was only off in the Fonto world. But really, you're using that entire infrastructure of Tridion, which is not only the management of components, but then also the Tridion delivery side of things as well. So
that's it. So it's that big Tridion family. And talking about the big Tridion family, one of the updates that our customers been asking for is when is Tridion Docs going to go full cloud? Well, next release. So by June, let's say latest July, we should have the full strong cloud module story, full SS option, reducing operational load while keeping the governance and traceability. Security is up there, ISO 27001, SOC 2 Type 2, all of that's inside of it, containerized tenants, and everything is set up so that your content still stays as secure as if you were on an on-premise edition of it. You can get to use Tridion Delivery, because I had DXD on there. Tridion Docs Genius and Draft Companion are baked in, ready to work. All of those are add-ons, but they're designed to plug into your content lifecycle. So your Draft Companion is there to help you with your drafting, check whether or not you've applied style guides and things like that. And then you've got Hexahops and Trustable Chat on the delivery side, so that you sourcing one source of truth. You're looking at one sort of truth. You're basically grounding your knowledge, your enterprise knowledge, with your own internal documentation. So it's less infrastructure burden, simpler upgrades, and easier adoption of new services as well. It's a cleaner story for scalability, and that's what we're looking at as well.
Right.
And then, yeah.
Well, I was going to say, and also, I guess, with 15.3 in the summertime and the new composer, module, like all of a sudden you could do like everything in a Mac, and I'm like, yes,
that's it. Unlocked finally. I'm a Mac user, and I'm just waiting for just that last bit of it. I don't have to fire up the virtual machine anymore. I'm right in there. And then we've got news on Tridion AI. We've got that vision. We've already started working on it. We're working with one of our largest customers, because what we like to do here is meet customer expectations, not just build something that we think is right. We basically ask, what do you want? So what do customers want from AI? They want something that understands. It doesn't just summarize. They want something that anticipates. It doesn't just answer. They want something that advances your work. It doesn't just sit there passively as an assistant. So Tridion AI is building an agentic and MCP approach, and bringing things like being able to plan, do impact analysis, take a look at where there's gaps in your documentation, review change, accuracy checks, and even first draft creation. So a regulation has changed somewhere, the agent picks that up, fires off a message to another agent, builds a first draft, dumps it into MCP. MCP then sends it directly into Tridion Docs, and that appears ready for you to continue and approve or improve on. So it's there's many little parts of it. There's the Tridion agent, and then Tridion Connect that integrates in a standard way to regulatory sources, allows you to change and work on workflows, accesses different knowledge repositories, and so basically Well,
I was going to say, and I know people sometimes they get a little overwhelmed, as we're pushing, all this extra technology. There's also a people side of things as well. And so we have a team of pre-sales consultants who will be able to help you apply this new technology and apply the Tridion AI, the Tridion MPC servers, etc., to your environment, and make sure that we can satisfy some good use cases for you. So you're not alone with this technology. We've got a team.
That's it. No.
Yeah, and we're happy to.
We listen to you. We listen to you as customers, but we don't just listen, do, and then leave you to it. We're also there to help implement things, and our partner network is there as well. That's true.
Yeah.
On the AI side of things, I don't know how many people have used the Trustable Chat on docs.rws.com. That's where we deliver all our product documentation. But you're going to be able to integrate Trustable Chat as a widget on your own content sites as well, on your own content delivery platform. So that's coming soon as well. I'm not going to give a date for that, but look out. We'll probably address this in a little bit more detail in next month's live stream. And then what else is going on our side? I thought I'd bring up a couple of the events that we're going to be attending, because it sometimes it's great to come up and see us in person, not just virtual meetings. So I just came back from Ditto Europe. You mentioned that, and there I was able to show off the first iterations of the agentic AI chain that we're building with MCP. But then I also showed off Draft Companion and so on. And so I thought this would be great because not everyone could make it to Ditto Europe. So I set up a webinar on the CIDM platform. So it's them hosting us. And I'm going to be taking a look inside the Tridion Docs AI test kitchen, basically redoing the demo, but explaining some of what goes on behind it, some of the reasoning that we've got in there. And then I'll be following that up. So that's on the 11th of February. Sorry, I almost forgot to mention the date. And then I'll be following that up a month later with Tools Are Easy, People Are Hard, the cultural shift that is required for structured content and AI. And that's the other thing as well. Let's not forget people in this. You just mentioned that, bringing all this technology in, a lot of that fails because we fail to bring people along with us. And so making sure, there's understanding, there's acceptance, you build champions on, that's what I'm going to be tackling during that webinar. Let me not give the baby away, throw the baby out with the bathwater, or give the baby away, whatever. And then the next big event that I'll be going to, that RWS will be at the Nordic TechCom in Stockholm, and that's March 19th to the 20th. And then we've also got quite a few industry events. Rather than listing them all on here, go on to rws.com, go to resources events, and you've got a list of both industry events and also other webinars. And you can always see all our recorded webinars on there as well.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds great. All right. Well, I think we're sort of at time, unless there's any final thoughts.
Well, I mean, I would love to expose the architecture behind what this is. Look out also on the blog space. I think that's maybe somewhere where it'd be great for me to show that out. So we're bringing out loads of content, and one of that will be on that. I'm doing a medical device webinar series as well. So if you're in that manufacturing industry, medtech manufacturing, feel free to sign up to that webinar series where I'll be discussing with experts, regulatory experts who know what they're talking about, and they're able to then explain how some of these technology that we're bringing to market is there to actually help, ease submissions. Because if you're waiting, the FDA has already implemented AI in their eStar submissions. It's going to be combing through your submissions. And so that little mistake that used to get passed before is no longer going to fly. So you want to start preparing for that. That's what the webinar series is all about.
Well, that's great. And I just want to let people know, feel free to either reach out to us, or even do things like go to the community.rws.com, submit product ideas. We're always looking for ideas from our customers. And I think with every big release, we incorporate at least a half dozen ideas that came directly from our customers. So that's the type of company that we are, right? It's not just
customer led.
It's about our customers and how we work and the relationships that we have with them.
Yeah, building that 6-wheeled bicycle is not for us, Yeah, it might seem it'll go faster, but that's not what the customer wants.
Exactly. It might look nice and shiny for the analyst, but really,
hey, loads of wheels.
Okay, well, thank you, everyone, and we'll tune in next month to the live stream. So thank you so much. Have a great March or February.
Thanks. Great February.
We'll see you in March.
It's the month of love.
Exactly. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.